presented.
Whoa. I know you came in hot, but give me the real one. It's Friday.
I mean, Benny, of all the times, I'm the guy that runs late everywhere. Pat on the back to me for owning it. Joshy, I asked him 3 times. I'm like, we got to go downstairs. No, we got time. No, I think we got to go downstairs. No, we got time.
Pat on the back to me, you weren't in the office all day. I just wanted to catch up with my guy. But now I got 2 hours on the radio to talk with you.
What a beautiful thing.
I forgot my computer.
Josh upset right now, shaking his head. What?
This is disaster.
It's just this, Ben,
Josh,
you got no excuse right now.
No, I got none. Pat on the back to me for owning I have no excuse and for getting my computer and making Greg late.
I am surprised because normally it's just me making, like, of all the times for me, it's 3:58 to be like, we should go downstairs, and you'd be like,
That was very unlike me.
Very unlike you.
Backwards world. Greg was on the golf course today. I was at the office, like flip-flop city today.
Yes, I golfed with Rutledge and Hamilton, our friends there. Rutledge destroyed Hamilton on the golf course, by the way. Hamilton, not even an ounce the golfer that Jimmy Rutledge is.
That sounds about right.
I was surprised, though. Like, you'd think Olympic athlete.
Plays in a league every Wednesday, golfs a lot, goes to the range, lefty swing, really likes to brag about golfing. He's golfed with Old T from Wilde and Tausch, Mark Tauscher.
Oh, wait, hold on. Where did you get that from?
I just know that they've golfed together. And Tausch.
But you golf with Tausch, too.
I'm just saying Tausch has talked about on air on how Matt is a pretty good stick.
Oh.
And so I'm disappointed to hear in the results from Hamilton today.
Yeah, Rutledge dominated. Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra. Happy Friday. Call us, text us, 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust. And we talked a little bit about David Bakhtiari's comments about this being a rebuilding team and how he seems to be on a different level right now, or a different place within the organization than most of the young folks who are saying, no, we're not rebuilding right now. We're going to go ahead and win. And they're not afraid of having expectations in the same way that Bakhtiari seems to be. Well, earlier today, this morning, in fact, on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, Craig Karmazin, host of Sunday Karma across ESPN Wisconsin, had this to say about David Bakhtiari.
Craig, we've been talking about David Bakhtiari over here. And look, I as I said the other day, I do not want to villainize him. I do not want to make it seem like I think he's a bad dude, because I do not think that. I do think, though, he could be a little more consistent with his messaging, and I think he's breaking a social code a little bit by not recognizing.
Social code. He's got to be gone. He can't be on this team.
Why?
Get him off this team immediately. Right? I mean, so I was listening to your show, and if I were a Packers fan, and I am rooting for the Bears to win the division this year, so I'll put my cards on the table, but. I mean, you have a guy who is theoretically your leader, right? Your veteran guy who's been there the longest, saying, I'm going to show up for as many things as I have to get paid, and then I'm not going to come to any of them. That's like one of our leaders in the company saying, I'm going to use all my sick days, even if I'm not sick. Like that. And so what? So that the younger players can hope that one day they could be a star so that they don't have to show up? I mean, how do you build a culture that way? How do you try to instill what you want in your younger players if your veteran leaders are saying, no, not only do I not want to over-deliver, I'm going to do the minimum that I have to and spend the least possible time around the rest of the team to help them.
Craig Karmazin there, Sunday Karma. I like a lot of what he says, right, in terms of you need to make sure what you're building is consistent, that your veterans are a positive presence for your younger players. But it's really hard to find really good left tackles in the NFL. If you think you're rebuilding, however, and this is what's kind of funny and ironic about the situation, if you believe David Bakhtiari, then I'm with Craig, and I'd say, yeah, you should be gone. But if you believe that you're actually competing to win a division, I'm actually like, no, then you need to keep him, even if right now he is a culture problem that could cause problems down the road.
The hard part about me trying to figure out what the Packers' overall strategy is from a front office standpoint is the quarterback situation. It's not that Jordan Love's the guy. It's the fact that they haven't brought anyone else in outside of a 5th round Sean Clifford and Danny Etling. Because if you're not rebuilding and you think you have a chance, I think you want a little bit more of an insurance policy when it comes to the quarterback position than what you have now behind Jordan Love, a guy who has not been a full-time starter in the NFL. I do find it a little bit interesting, though, talking about how you want to have your veterans around the team as much as possible. Aaron Rodgers the last 2 years, I know we're going back to the OTA conversation. He wasn't around OTAs and didn't help build the culture of what they were trying to do with the younger guys that they were drafting last year. I mean, 2021 I care a little bit less about.
But the whole thing, I mean, I think Rodgers is a different situation, right? Like, there is an element of, if that's what Aaron thinks is best to get himself to an MVP level, and the organization has that trust within him, then fine. Aaron never came out and was like, yeah, like, we're not going to be that good this year. Like, look at what, like, he did maybe later on when they started to lose a little bit. Maybe, talked about some of the challenges they had. But he was going in every single week, every single day, talking about winning and keeping his eyes on a goal. I think it's not going to happen. I think that if Goody actually did that and the organization did that, it will be such a monumental move in the positive direction for who this team is, what their identity is, and what they're trying to stand for. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, what I want to know from the front office, like you said, is where they stand. But I don't think I need a move of David Bakhtiari to know. In my opinion, in my belief of the way this roster is put together, they are in a rebuild situation where, like you said, if you are in that mindset, it's a little bit easier to move on from an older 11-year veteran who's had an injury history, that what happens in this season if they're not as good and his injury problems linger, is he going to stay out a little bit longer? Like, it's probably the best time ever to move on from a piece like that. Like you said, good left tackles are hard to come by, but if there's ever a time to move on from a left tackle and start building for the next guy, it's now.
The tough part is I don't think there's much trade value there. Like, I don't think with that contract, I mean, he's not old, but he's beat up, right?
Yes.
He's had injury histories. And that contract, like, I don't think you're getting a ton of value back in return. I have to imagine that's part of what is holding the Packers back from doing anything about this. But I don't even know if they've questioned him on it. Like, do you think somebody's gone and talked to him? Do you think Matt LaFleur has pulled David Bakhtiari aside and said, hey, dude, like, we need to instill a winning culture with our team top to bottom. You're at the top. You're somebody these guys look up to and respect. You can't be talking like this. Like, you can tell me this, but you need to set an example for the team. I don't think Matt LaFleur or somebody like Matt LaFleur has talked to him like that.
We didn't have audio of it because he didn't answer it, but he was asked if somebody talked to him about it, and he refused to answer, indicating kind of a tacit, somebody said something, but it hasn't stopped him because he stuck with the same line.
Well, he kind of hedged with one statement, but his overall sentiment
he was
is
on
like,
Rich Eisen saying the same exact thing yesterday afternoon as well. So
his overall sentiment is it's hard to follow a Hall of Famer, and it's disrespectful to think you're not going to be rebuilding.
I don't even think it would provide as much as like helping. I think it's like a tone setter. Like, we're done with those guys who treated the coaches and their teammates poorly. This is the new Packers. This is how we do things now. And watching David Bakhtiari, who's got the biggest name on that team, walk out the door because he wasn't following, I think that can set a tone for the team.
Huge. And if you think you have the right people in place from a young leader standpoint, like, this all of a sudden gets those guys in a position where they can make the impact that you'd want them to make. Mark from the unknown text at 800-990-3776. Get 800-990-ESPN and says, I don't mean to be a jerk, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't play for the team anymore. Can you guys talk about something else, please? We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers. We're talking about David Bakhtiari.
I mean, are we not allowed to talk about how the fact that David Bakhtiari and Aaron Rodgers were best friends and on a
we didn't even mention that as my
golf
point.
cart together? Like, my point is that also plays as a part of the equation, because let's be real, Brian Gutekunst didn't draft David Bakhtiari, so he's likely of a different thinking than these younger guys who have come in through the Gutekunst regime. And I think something you mentioned that's interesting, Greg, about Matt LaFleur, we got into Matty Mouse yesterday as he was joking about spiking it before halftime at OTAs, like kind of making a joke at the field goal attempt that they kicked in the 2020 championship is Matt LaFleur needs a rebrand. Well, it seems like the Packers are trying to rebrand and get...
No, it doesn't.
Well, I'm saying... Not the Packers as a whole, but the team direction as a rebrand and like getting everyone on the same page.
But it doesn't. That seems like they should, but like you really look at it, it seems like they just said, all right, we're going to keep doing all the same things. We're just going to keep doing them with the younger players. Like they really haven't. Like what's different about this Packers team outside of Aaron Rodgers being now Jordan Love? Like
34 rookies and a young team.
Yeah, a young team, but again, like they got rid of who? Guys that really weren't impacting anyway. Like your defense is basically the same exact defense, right? I mean,
yeah.
Your offense,
I got a little offensive heavy in that mindset.
But even your offense, like your offensive line is going to remain the same. Your wide receivers, two of your top three guys are there back from last year in Watson and Dobbs. Your running backs are back. I guess the tight end position turned over, and you lost Bubby, and you lost Randall, and you lost Mercedes. You lost a lot of that Aaron Rodgers clique, but David Bakhtiari's still there, and the Packers still aren't doing anything about these guys that many would perceive, as Craig Karmazin did, as being people who are not culture contributors, but ultimately people that are inhibitive of building a winner culture. And Connor in the 5-0's asked, is Green Bay an organization that isn't run as well as we have thought the last few years? Winning covered up a lot of organizational flaws that the fans didn't see as a result of winning.
I guess we'll see, right? If they're going to keep operating the same way as an organization, the wins and losses, that will tell the story. That's the ultimate scoreboard next year and the year after. So I think from an organizational standpoint, it's been hidden. I remember talking about how there was somebody who called in and said his dream, because he does not believe in the front office and the structure, would be Aaron Rodgers moves on, wins a Super Bowl somewhere else, and this was before the Jets, and basically puts out in front to everyone how bad the front office is, that Aaron Rodgers was able to move on and win a Super Bowl elsewhere within 1 year, and they were able to build something when he had 4 really good years of his prime left.
We'll see if that happens in New York.
I'm not saying
I know.
I just think it's an
I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm just saying we'll see if it happens in New York. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Justin from Milwaukee says the rebrand is winning 6 to 8 games until we have a front office that knows how to build a roster using all possible avenues.
I guess that's another person who wants to see more in free agency, because we haven't seen it since 2019.
Stephen Pewaukee chimes in, says, do you think D-Bach wants to be traded? We'll talk about that. Plus, we'll hit Homer with a lot of other things next, because he joins us next. That's Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
I can't believe it. You're criminals.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Traffic is brought to you by the Harley-Davidson Museum. Head to the HD Museum campus Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th for the HD Factory Outlet Summer Sale on discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes, merchandise, and select officially licensed products.
We have a couple of accidents right now to deal with. One on 41 southbound just south of Appleton Avenue off on the left, and another one on 94 eastbound right at the Mitchell Boulevard on-ramp. The 2 right lanes are blocked with this, so it's going to be a tight squeeze coming in from the Zoo interchange. Now westbound is going to be a bit backed up as well, coming out of the Marquette towards the stadium. And southbound 43, riding the brakes from Brown Deer Road all the way down to about Locust. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 62. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 82 at the lakefront, 90 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The workplace has changed a lot thanks to technology, and more recently, the shift to a flexible or remote schedule. Your business must adapt to maintain a great culture, attracting quality candidates and keeping them. You need Smart Spaces. The team of interior integrators at Smart Spaces brings creativity and expertise, assessing the walls, ceiling, lighting, flooring, furniture, and audiovisual systems to create places that matter in the modern world, fully functional for those in the building and for others to interact remotely. Get started today at smartspaceswi.com. amfam.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
One's a Marquette Hall of Famer.
You know who writes Wikipedia? What? People.
The other may or not make things up from time to time.
99% of the information about you in Wikipedia is accurate.
Homer and Tony.
American retired professional basketball player. Accurate. Played high school ball at Tulsa East. Accurate. Retired as number 34 at ceremony in 2007. Accurate. Luckiest thing of his life to work with Homer. Accurate.
Inaccurate.
Accurate.
Weekdays 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
Welcome to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. May I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like 9 windows, please. I'm hoping they'll match my home.
Have it your way.
Excuse me? We're talking about windows, right?
Yes. Pella's design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee.
So you're like my personal barista for windows and doors.
Exactly. And if you customize your order by August 31st, you can bundle and save big.
Good deal.
Get started today at PellaWI.com.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio running the show. The Gruber Loftus One Call, That's All Studios at the 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee. Alex Strofe.
That's my bad. That was a miss. That's a typo. We got G.
What's up, G? Other Alex. Dude, I'm having a great time. We just talked Pokemon for about half an hour on Rutledge and Hamilton. We're thriving on a Friday.
All right, and now we welcome in Homer of Homer and Tony, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, every day from 2 to 4. Homer, do you know what he's referring to when he talks about Pokemon?
Yes, the cards. Our grandson was into that and stuff. So yeah, I don't entirely understand.
Do you know who the main Pokemon character is?
No, nothing, none.
Really?
And I guarantee you, there will never be a show in my life that I will spend any amount of time on Pokemon.
What shows do you watch, Homer?
What shows do I watch?
Like you said there's not a show. Like what? Like do you have shows you get into?
Pokemon? What? I don't know. They're just cards. I don't know. Is there a Pokemon show?
Yeah, it's a show. It's a TV show. I grew up watching the TV
I didn't know
show.
That.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
I just
know the
gotta
cards.
catch 'em all.
So what was that on a public TV?
Yeah, it was just like it was just on like I don't know TV.
Wow.
I don't know the
I
channel.
didn't even know it existed.
Pikachu was the main character for those listening.
It's time well spent.
Okay.
Are you turning over to me to keep asking Pokemon questions? Because I don't have any more Pokemon questions.
You don't need to ask Pokemon questions.
Homer.
Yes, that's correct. You don't.
I know you don't want me to either. Do you believe in the organizational structure of the Packers?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know why it doesn't matter. The
what's
structure
fine?
is fine.
Fine isn't
It's
good.
fine. It's
I
okay.
want you to say it's good.
Well,
It's great.
They're a publicly held company. They do it exactly right with the president, and then the president he can decide as they used to, where the GM runs the football. But the setup is fine. It's all about the people in those positions that determine success or failure, not the format.
Do you think it's a problem that Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst don't have a strong relationship as coach GM?
Again, I don't know how strong it isn't. I know that it's different now because generally Goody used to be the guy hiring the head coach, and Murphy changed that. So that's something you could debate, the plus or minuses of that. But I think that whole discussion is vastly overrated. It doesn't matter. What matters is Goody giving him good players, and can LaFleur coach? They can hate each other. Doesn't matter. They have the ability to do their job well. Yes or no? And them liking each other means close to nothing.
I feel like I entirely disagree with that.
Fine. On what do you base it? So they don't like each other. Well, how does that hurt anything?
Homer, have you ever seen an organizational...
I don't care. I don't want it polled. Explain how it makes a difference.
I'll tell you right now. Have you ever seen an organization thrive where everyone hates each other?
No, they didn't say everyone hates each other. We're asking if the GM and the coach, don't get along and what effect that has. Forget any other organization. Talk about this football team and tell me how that harms things.
So if Matt LaFleur is looking for a position to help enhance his team and Goody drafts on best position available and not a position of need, going against what his coach may need to be successful, and they have a bad relationship, you don't think that hurts the team?
That, sir, is like asking if a football is a problem because it's not the same. That's how it works. The GM is in charge of getting talent. Successful teams have good GMs because the last thing you need is a coach being in charge because all he cares about is how the team's going to be today and this year. The success of the Packers, the GM's ability to draft players that make the team better and not listen to the coach who's interested in next year. That's not what a GM's supposed to do. That's why they were good when Thompson continually drafted wide receivers, even though they had some good ones, because he did things that he thought would make the team best for a long period. Goody, I'm sure, believes the same thing. The problem is if he drafts bad players. Whether or not LaFleur likes them is close to irrelevant. That's not his job. His job is to take those players and make them good into a team based on the skills he has in whatever it is.
So what's more of a failure then? Who gets more of the blame, Goody or LaFleur, that Goot has invested as much as he had into the defense, and they have been nowhere near a top 10 defense in the last 4 years with all of the investments they've made?
Goody. I mean, it's almost always on the GM. That's what makes a team great. I can find a ton of coaches that can win with great talent. So I'm always going to say, that it's the GM.
Talking with Homer here on Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by Michelob Ultra across ESPN with Wisconsin. Homer, would you...
Can I ask you guys a question?
Please.
Would it matter if you guys hated each other?
Yes.
Could you still do a good show?
I think you could still do a good show, but it'd be a different show. I think that your best organizations, you have good communication and collaboration, right? And good understanding of what each person is doing and why they're doing it, and respect for one another. And if that's missing, I do think it makes it harder. Now, if Brian Gutekunst is elite at finding the best players and bringing them into the organization, and LaFleur is elite at developing them and putting them in a position to succeed, then they can still win, but it does make the hill steeper to climb. It does make it more challenging when you have a coach and a GM not on the same page, if in fact they aren't on the same page.
No, yeah, I mean, they're never on the same. They're not on. They don't have the same book. The page of the coach is to win now. The page of the GM is to develop a team over a longer period than 1 year.
That's fair, but you still want to bring in players that your coaches believe in and know how to develop and fit into what they're trying to do, because those players, especially a team that builds nearly exclusively through the draft, are going to be coached not by the GM. They're going to be developed not by the GM. They're going to be put in positions not by the GM, unless you think, as some suspect, that the front office actually is having somewhat of a say in terms of who plays on the field. And that's why a guy like Amari Rodgers was still back there having punts kick off of his face mask last season.
Oof.
That's, to some degree, that always happens. Doesn't happen often. If it happens, it stays with somebody a little bit longer. That's why you have the GM. Coach is always going to have a shorter term. So if it was just Rodgers, then it wouldn't be that deal. The question is whether or not you think, and it's not like the players that Goody's going to get aren't going to match LaFleur. The football's football. They all have the same interest. What is he going to draft all running? I mean, no, he hasn't done that. The issue is whether or not the people that he's gotten are good. Not that is it the problem at defense that he's drafted wrong positions? No. The problem is none of them have been good enough. I think there is an issue with the wide receivers only because the league has changed a little. But even that isn't that big a deal. The problem is the few wide receivers he did pick, too many of them suck.
Homer, what did you make of Craig Karmazin's comments on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy about wanting to get rid of David Bakhtiari?
It's a legitimate position. I don't that would make sense, but I think they probably want to have, given what happened in Kansas City and how much pressure was on Jordan Love, I think they want to have some stability in the offensive line for Jordan Love. But at some point, he could be traded in the season or something like that. So I think that's the decision they're making. They think that helps Jordan Love have a better first year, given what they saw in Kansas City with with too much pressure. So
all right,
I wouldn't
Homer.
trade him, but at some point in the season you might. I mean, there's no question they've gotten rid of everybody else who's old and good.
I'm going to stick on the same theme here. Exactly, not at all, actually. Josh Hart of the New York Knicks. Did you see this story?
I did not, but he was a very good player for Villanova. I remember
Very
that.
good player for Villanova. He's playing with his former teammate from Villanova, Jalen Brunson, with the New York Knicks. He tweeted,
one of the biggest surprises to me ever in the NBA.
I disagree. He won a state championship in high school. He won a national title in college. He's a proven winner every level that he's been at. But I'm not here to talk about Jalen Brunson.
He's a proven winner, but he's not a proven scorer. He never showed any of the abilities.
You're completely wrong. I don't know what games you were watching when Marquette and Villanova were playing. He always showed versatility, knocking down threes, posting guys up.
Versatility. Yeah, he helped other people. He was a good point guard. Never showed the offensive level that
he didn't have to.
Right
he had
now.
other guys on his team.
Hey, if he had, he would have been drafted much sooner, and they would have paid a ton to keep him in Dallas.
Anyways,
everybody's surprised but you. Go ahead.
Josh Hart has inquired to people if they've ever tried their significant other's breast milk. Did you ever try breast milk? My brother Jonathan has.
I'm incapable of comprehending the point of that. Okay, what I mean, I'm missing.
What are you missing?
Like, why?
Curiosity?
Okay. All right. You don't want to bite a raccoon's head off? I don't. I mean, well, I guess we can address your brother. What curiosity?
Greg, you can help me with the dazzling details, Jonathan.
Josh got me. Josh was uncomfortable. Jonathan basically was making love to his wife after they had a kid, and somehow.
We didn't need the details. The curiosity to taste, Homer, is what
he tasted. Well, yeah, he claims it got on his hand though, and then he tasted it. He didn't let me try this out of the
We've
bottle.
rendered Homer speechless.
I know, and that's hard to do.
No, you didn't make me speechless. That makes some sense to me. But that wasn't really the question. The question was, what again? Have you
ever tried breast milk?
Well, no, but I mean, no. The answer to your question is no, and never will. But
Homer,
have you?
None of us have. None of us have. Well, Ben breastfed until he was 7, but other than that,
you sound like my brother's making that joke.
I know.
Did you cut the umbilical cord yet? You're like 10 years old.
I didn't know I was going to hit you where it hurt.
You hit me where it hurt.
I mean, my goodness, I made a very immature joke,
it took me to a bad place.
Homer, Brewers are 29-27. They're first in the division. It's a horrible division. Baseball Prospectus still has them with a 7% chance to make the playoffs and a 73% chance to make the division or to win the division. Are you still as confident as those numbers are showing you?
No, only because of the massive number of injuries. But the fact that they're where they are with all those injuries is pretty impressive. So I'm not at the same level they are, but they're a great organization, great manager, and so based on, and this is scary because you never want to base anything on everybody else sucking. It all comes down to St. Louis. The only team that has a chance to beat them is St. Louis. So I will still believe in the Brewers.
Which injury is the one that hurt them the most? Is it Woodruff or Mitchell?
Yes, Woodruff. Because their chance is going to be to have good pitching because they just don't score enough consistently with all the young new players they have. But so I will go with them, but I will not wager any big money with you.
Fair enough. Brewers up 2-0 right now over the Reds.
Yeah, and I predicted a sweep for them for Cincinnati.
They need it.
Wow. Does anybody can remember anything that was a part of our conversation other than breast milk?
I mean, hearing you kind of try and find words was kind of a funny part.
What prompted Josh Hart to bring it up?
I don't know. It was a tweet, and it went viral, and I just figured you would be somebody that would have a good perspective on that.
Why?
I don't know.
I
got a good perspective on everything.
No, I don't have I have a bad perspective on that. I have the bad perspective on somebody wanting to chop a raccoon's head off. There are some things I have a horrible perspective on. You can find a million people with a better perspective on this than me. It feels thick. Feels wrong, but I'm not sure that
it might be thick. I don't know.
I know. So,
thank you, Homer. He said sick.
What about sick? Oh, I thought you said thick.
I know you did. Hills, he just says this show would be nowhere without Ben's ass and his brother's love life. It's not wrong. 1-0 next on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
My ass?
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
Craziness of Ben Brust. I apologize for even being the slightest bit surprised. I should be beyond that.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Still seeing the backups coming down on 43 southbound from just south of Brown Deer Road down past Hampton Avenue, back on the brakes from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette. Westbound 94 going to be slowing down from 25th Street through the stadium. The eastbound side hitting the brakes at 84th Street all the way through the stadium. We do have an accident still being worked on the right shoulder at Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 81 at the lake, 88 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is going to be interesting, so pay attention.
Mountains and trees.
Ducks and hunting dogs.
Dinosaur bones.
Meteorites.
Steel that's carved like the leather stirrups on a Western saddle.
Damascus steel.
Like they make swords out of.
Carbon fiber.
Hardwood.
Manly things.
Hardwood.
You already said that.
I know. I just like the sound of it. Hardwood.
It does have a nice ring to it.
Ring. I see what you did there.
I'm sorry. I got us off track.
Kessler's has wedding bands for men.
Real men.
Made of manly things.
He wants you to wear a big, beautiful diamond so that everyone you meet will know how much he loves you.
Why not insist that he wear something equally cool?
You'll tell your grandkids about the day you went shopping for this wedding band at Kessler's when they ask,
"Where did you get such a cool ring? And what is it made of?"
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Jump into summer fun when the Brewers battle the Oakland Athletics. Friday, June 9th through Sunday the 11th. Get half-price tickets for any seat with the 5-county Friday offer at the series opener. And rep MKE all summer long with the City Connect Brewers flag giveaway at the game on Saturday the 10th. Grab your seats now at brewers.com/promotions.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I have told you about the delicious pizza and Italian snacks that you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. But now there's even more to be excited about. The restaurant has added new sandwiches to the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy items like the Red Rock Chicken BLT, the Meatball Hero, and more. Order from the counter at Proof or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
Homer, Tony, living in perfect harmony. Yeah, right.
Jordan Love stinks next year. You think he's out of the NFL?
As a starting quarterback, yes, he might.
You think
not.
he's out?
No, I mean,
no. You just said might.
No, I'm saying starting quarterback.
You just
He could
said
be.
might.
I know, because he could be a backup, whatever the hell that's worth. That's worth nothing. As a starter, he could be done.
Could be, yeah, but he could not be. Also, it's not a do or die.
Well, that's a hell of a concern.
Listen to Homer and Tony weekdays from 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN and wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, our guy Alex G holding it down at the Everlight Solar Studios off to Capitol Square in Madison. How you feeling about this weekend, G?
I'm feeling good. I feel a little weird, though, because everyone left the studio at like 4:03. Like Rutledge and Hamilton, the last thing happens, they just all leave. No one said goodbye. I assume they're at a bar downstairs, but a little lonely, to be honest.
You're here with us. What do you mean lonely?
Yeah,
I got you guys. Yeah, no,
them.
but like, you know, there's energy in the office when other people are physically here. You guys are physically like an hour and 30 minutes away, and I love the energy you bring, but it's a little different.
I don't like his vibe.
I don't either. Gee, you gotta start feeling
you gotta
yourself
snap out
again.
of it.
You gotta snap out.
Play
of
with
it.
that third nipple or something.
Ew. Or just think about next weekend, right? When you've got the Champions Tour coming to Madison, Wisconsin, the AmFam Championship, AmFamChampionship.com. To get your tickets, you can watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the AmFam Championship next Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. That week's also going to include an exciting concert featuring Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line. That's on Friday, June 9th. Proceeds from the week going to support Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Once again, get your tickets today. AmFamChampionship.com. That's AmFamChampionship.com.
Are you a 1 or a 0? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0.
Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo are your contestants for 1 or 0. Josh DiMaggio is your host. He asked us a question. Say 1 for yes, 0 for no. There is no gray area. Josh, take it away.
The Denver Nuggets mascot, known for his dangerous stunts, apparently makes $625,000 a year to be the mascot for every Nuggets home game. 1 or 0. The best mascot in all of sports is deserving of $600,000.
0. I think it's worth more.
Why?
Because when you're talking about entertainers of that level, when you talk about high-end mascots, it's not something you could just like go and find somebody else to do.
Like, what happens if this person can't do his stunts anymore?
Well, there's clauses in the contract. It's not a lifetime contract. Like,
It's going to be a tough act to follow. And now that people know he's making $600,000, if they can't do as good as him, like the.
But a mascot, it's like they're on the open market. Like, do you have to create your own market? Like the old Phoenix Suns gorilla mascot used to be the highest paid mascot in all sports, I remember. But that guy was electric. You'd see him on SportsCenter it's like how I knew the Phoenix Suns.
I had no idea the Denver Nugget mascot was even like good at stunts.
But I'm saying, if in Denver, the Nuggets mascot is very well known, and it helps then drive more fans and more ticket sales and all that stuff. And by the way, it's not just the home games, right? When you're a mascot, you're doing all the events and the community stuff and all that. If all of a sudden the mascot becomes a star in his own right, like, and you're getting that for 600 some odd grand, like, that's not that bad. Kids are more probably into in Denver seeing the mascot than they are half the players that they don't know.
Should the Bucky Badger be able to make NIL money?
100%.
No.
Just saying, if they're really good at being Bucky, why can't they make money on
Bucky
being Bucky?
Badger doesn't do stunts. Bucky Badger's also 7 or 8 different people. If it was one mascot, I would agree. They could.
But what if one stands out more than others? Like, what if he brings a skill set that's different than the other Buckies and he starts standing out?
But my point is there's no way to really get. Oh, you're saying like actually like through like a like hey. Because, like, the marketing deals wouldn't make sense. You'd have to have that through the university.
Yeah, I'm just more so saying if one Bucky is good at doing different stunts and he becomes more of a famous
It's not possible.
Bucky.
They're an employee of the university, a state employee. Student wage is held.
Gosh, you're no fun.
I'm just saying. I'm giving you the actual answer.
How much do you think Red Panda makes as the halftime entertainer that everyone talks about? Do you think she makes more or less than the Denver Nuggets mascot?
My guess is my guess is she gets probably about $20,000 a game that she does. So I don't think she's working every 250 nights a year. You're probably still talking about 200, but she's got to pay for her own travel.
She should have a performance clause for the record. If she drops the cups,
why?
The
bowls, whatever they are, I don't know, because it's disappointing.
Why are you trying to take money out of Red Panda's pocket?
Because I've seen some bad performances from her.
Okay.
I think she's aging.
You're just a
whoa
out of her prime.
Josh, you put on
no.
What?
We are not talking about women and age.
It's not about
nobody
women.
is saying that, Joshy. All right, Josh just made it bad.
Here
Moving on to the next
Joshy
question.
Poo-poo.
In a variety of studies done over the past few years, researchers have found that swearing has health benefits that include pain management, improved strength, and that people who swear are more trustworthy. 1 or 0. Swearing is good for you.
It's a 1.
I mean, it is a 1 when you let out a nice swear, it feels really good. It just does. I don't know why.
There's got to be physiological and psychological benefits to that. You know what I mean? It just has to be. Like when when you feel good when you do it. I also think like people who don't swear.
That's what she said.
Thank you. I'm not saying you need to swear liberally, but if like you're like, yeah, I don't cuss, I don't curse.
1 or 0. You can't trust someone who never swears.
Like there's something else going on. Ben's heard me say it before. If you don't have a vice, everyone's got a vice. If I don't know what your vice is, I'm a little bit worried. A little worried.
1 or 0. Swearing should be allowed on TV and radio.
I also just want to say that I think the people that say they don't swear are frauds. I guarantee it slips every now and again. You know what I mean? There's no way.
But I think if it slips every now and again, you say a swear word once a year, I wouldn't say that you swear. I would say you don't swear and you make a mistake once in a while.
Swearing should be allowed on TV or radio. I'm gonna say 0.
I'm a 0 here too. Got to protect the kids, Joshy. I know you're like Mr. Everybody, every swear should be allowed everywhere kind of guy. But ultimately, I think it's okay that you can't.
But you're pro nudity on television?
It's the human body, Josh.
They're just words.
Get over it.
Get over it.
They are just words. But my point is, it's like children could repeat those words, and those words have
children could
weight.
also get naked when they're not supposed to.
Well,
it's on parents.
They have parents.
Jeff Van Gundy wants to speed up NBA basketball play by eliminating halftime and free throws until the last 4 minutes of games. 1 or 0. Removing free throws would make basketball more enjoyable.
1, I love this idea from Van Gundy. And I also love the halftime idea, although it would hurt Red Panda's business considerably.
It'd be pregame.
Like, do you need to shoot all those free throws outside of like the last 4 minutes? Like, just give the points and move on. It stops the game so significantly. It's like,
yeah, but I'm trying to figure out the way. If there's no free throws, if you get fouled going up, it's an automatic 2 points.
Well, if it's a shooting foul.
Yeah, I get it.
Versus going to the line. But I think it would have to be the same way.
If that's the case, then just do one free throw for the points.
Why?
Because, I don't know.
But if you're going to do one, you're still stopping the game. You're still rolling the ball. You're still... Versus just, the continuous action would be amazing.
I completely agree with you. I like a free-flowing game. I'm not going to bring up my basketball leagues because I'll get made fun of. But my point is...
Let me guess. You guys stop. You do free throws. All of a sudden, somebody's foot is on the line. And it's
nice.
Hold on. There's a technical violation in a closed gym league.
There's an understanding that you don't call fouls unless it's egregious. Egregious. Otherwise, there's not a lot of fouls because you want the
let's
action
get back
to
the
going.
NBA. Nobody cares about your league.
My point is when you go to the rim and I'm going up for a layup and you foul someone, you shouldn't just be rewarded 2 points. You're just it's a big part of the reason why Giannis helped the Bucks lose this year. Because he couldn't make his free throws. It would be an unfair rule. Everyone would just start bulldozing towards the rim.
But I don't think so, because ultimately, you're talking about outside of the last 4 minutes, you could also argue that it's unfair that a team will just start fouling Giannis because he's not good at free throws, and they're basically using that.
It's part of the game. It's not
part
unfair.
of your game. You're talking like an old school basketball guy right now. It's
They should take away the 3-point line.
We had to earn these free throws back in the day.
Shot 90% from the free throw line. I was proud of that. It meant something. Now we're just giving points for people who went to the rim and got fouled.
And here's what it is, Ben. It meant something for you, and you got to where you are now. It doesn't always have to be that way for everybody.
Your innovation stinks.
It's not my innovation. It's
JVG.
I got to digest this one a little more. I like the pace of play picking up.
You just don't
I'm an old.
I'm a
traditionalist.
I don't think there's as many fouls outside of the last 4 minutes that you would think that all of a sudden, it would just be 2 points here, 2 points here, 2 points here, 2 points there. And also, is it that bad if they're just teams that aren't sitting around chopping threes up anymore and people are going to the lane? Teams will be less likely to try to foul on purpose. I like it. I like it in a lot of ways. And halftime, basketball players don't need 15-minute halftimes. Take a quick break. Grab some water, get back out there, and go ahead and entertain us.
Well, I think that's the case. I think the halftime's as much as for the TV and commercials,
and for the Michelob Ultra sales.
Correct.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Close-minded.
A little bit.
800-990-3776. Again, 990-3776. Josh from Madison says it's like goaltending. Shooting foul should be 1 free point and the ball back. I don't know if I agree with that. You can't keep possession on it.
Absolutely not.
It's bad.
Make it take it?
I actually would love to see just a league. Dude, make it take it in G League. It'd be so fun to watch for a little bit.
Let's do tourneys.
Good. Speaking of basketball, Badger basketball, Greg Gard, the entire squad over there, landed a very highly rated recruit. In fact, the 5th highest rated recruit in the history of UW-Madison. We'll talk about the direction of Badger basketball next. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
Thumbs up are stupid. Yeah, emojis can be hostile. Absolutely. Words hurt. Emojis can hurt.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. Today for Ben's Beer Fridge, we're checking in with the 21st Amendment crew and their Hell or High Watermelon. Let's check in with V. Failing, who has the lowdown on why this should be top of mind all summer long.
And what isn't great about Hell or High Watermelon, it is refreshing, a perfect summer beer, and dare I say, crushable. It is what we like to clock in it as summer in a can. We pride ourselves on using fresh fruit in our beers, and you could taste the difference. So with Hell or High Watermelon, you know that you're getting crisp, refreshing, real watermelons. It clocks in at 4.9% ABV, so it's one of those ones that's a perfect day drinker, if you will.
Thanks again to V from 21st Amendment Brewing for joining me. And remember, whether you're out on a boat or just hanging on the patio, the fridge is always stocked.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
We won a championship, and my dad brought me 8 chips to eat on the drive because he wouldn't stop for a snack.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of truth in that. Just imagine if we lost. He wouldn't even got those chips.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Hey, this is Bo stepping in for Ridgetop Larry. Ridgetop Exteriors is Wisconsin's #1 choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors. We are the trusted local experts who live and work in the areas we serve, which means we're helping friends and neighbors too. On top of that, Ridgetop Exteriors offers the most affordable payment options, including no interest and low interest financing. For your free estimate, visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Experience the rebirth of an American treasure in Oconomowoc. The club at Lac La Belle is open. The redesigned course is one of Wisconsin's finest tracks at the heart of the Wisconsin Golf Trail. Named Best New Wisconsin Course in 2021 by Golf Digest. The club at Lac La Belle is open to the public 7 days a week. Schedule your tee time today at club@laclabelle.com. See what everyone is talking about. The club at Lac La Belle is a place to experience over and over again. Go to club@laclabelle.com to start your journey.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Show podcasts, team-centric feeds, and listening live whenever, wherever. All of that in the palm of your hand. The Wisconsin On Demand app, available in the Apple or Android App Store. It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
ESPN Wisconsin, Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, Alex G. You, the Scalzo and Brust family, calling, texting. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Boomer in Madison chimes in there, says, how many vices are too many vices? Joshy?
Oof. I'd say more than a handful.
Okay. Ben?
How many do I have? 1, 2, 3. Anywhere past 3.
G?
Let's go 7.
Whoa!
All right, let's go hang out.
Lucky number.
Texan Racine says, as the official, unofficial bully big brother of the show, make it, take it is the only way to play basketball.
Texan and Racine is such a make it, take it guy.
I feel like you're a make it, take it guy.
I was a make it, take it guy last weekend. I was playing on my nieces and nephews.
Oh, God.
Benny was reliving what he had to deal with older brothers.
It's so fun. My niece Calla is a freshman in high school, and she made the varsity team. And then I got middle school nephews that they can kind of play now.
So your niece, who's a freshman in high school, varsity player,
took it right at her.
You weren't trying to build any confidence within her.
No.
Oh man,
I took it right at her, and she's strong and tough, but.
Yeah, you're a 33-year-old man, or 30. How old are you? 31?
31.
31-year-old man.
I know. It just was fun. I think Josh is right. I think I had flashbacks of Jonathan and Steven beating me up in the driveway. And I was playing 1-on-6, and then Jonathan joined in, and it was me and Jonathan versus 10 of them, and we schooled them.
Yeah, Jonathan was just reliving his better days when he was bullying Benny.
Wisconsin basketball landed a commit from the 2024 class, 4-star, ranked as the 9th highest point guard in the class of 2024, the number 71 overall ranked player in that recruiting class. That makes him the 5th highest rated prospect in school history, Guard's highest rated guard signing ever. He's out of Southern California. And I guess I'm curious, right? How Badger fans feel today, because there was so much negativity surrounding just the Badger program during the season based on how this young team, closed out the year, right? And you saw what they did in the NIT, which was battle. They fell short there still. And yet it seems like there's a lot more positivity back now within the program. And they land, I don't know if you know how to pronounce the last name, Daniel Freitag would be my guest.
Freitag would be mine.
Freitag. Danny Boy, we'll call him whatever.
D-Fry.
Ooh, I like D-Fry. Again, the number 71 ranked player in the 2024 recruiting class.
I don't know how I got this identity as the rant guy, but everyone was tweeting at me to rant about the basketball program and guard and fire guard, and I'm like, you guys are clowns. He won 2 of the last 3, now 2 of the last 4 Big Ten titles. You had turnover from Johnny Davis, and to think in the world of college basketball today with the transfer portal, or just in the world of college sports, for him to be able to keep a group together and build upon whether you think it was good enough success, that's your measurement. I thought I was obviously hoping for more, but they're going to learn from all those close losses, especially if you bring the entire group back like he is doing with Chucky Hepburn. And then when you think about Connor Essegian, he's going to be an absolute stud next year. Next to Tyler Wall, who's coming back for his 5th or 6th year. I'm starting to lose count on that. But you bring in a transfer from St. John's. You have recruits that you believe in, which is why they didn't go get a transfer big in the portal, because you want to build continuity while also embracing the NIL and transfer portal. And I think Coach Gard has found an identity of how he wants to build this program. And I think that's a great thing. I think they're going to be very good next year. And if they make the tournament and get to a Sweet 16 and continue to build upon the success of his highest rated recruit ever in D-Fry, which is what we're going to call him because I think it's a sick name, I think Greg Gard has found an identity, and I think that's key, because for a while it was he won with Bo's guys. That's when he got 2 Sweet 16s. Then it was he's not recruiting well enough. Well, now he's hit a recruit, and I think with the recruit that he hit in the season last year, if this group has a great year, I think he can rattle off a couple of really strong years and solidify himself, and I think he's finding his own way, and that's always hard to do following a legend. It's also hard to do when you've been an assistant coach for 30 years. I just think he's so comfortable with where he's leading this program and the direction that they're going. I'm not going to lie. I got a little buzz when I saw the Badger men's basketball account tweet out a bat signal type tweet, which I've actually seen them do before for a different recruit, and they're just enhancing their their presence, which I think is important. Football's got excitement. I think you want to build that with basketball as well. And they're hitting it. And I have to give props.
We go to our guy Vaughn in Madison, 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Vaughn, you've got a little tidbit on the last name for us here?
Yeah, so it's German, Freitag. It means Friday.
Friday.
The day that we're living right now.
D-Fry. What do you think of D-Fry?
It's kind of tacky, but, it's your idea, so it makes sense.
See ya, Vaughn.
Thank you for the call.
Catch you later.
What a performance. Just bodied Ben Brust.
Why is everyone bodying me? D-Fry solid.
You know what's solid? The windows I'm going to be getting from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Wood windows, roll screen. Oh, baby, they can help you out as well. Replace your windows and doors. They're like your own personal barista for windows and doors. Pella's design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee, Benny. Their wood windows and patio doors can be painted, stained, or left bare to complement your unique home decor, and they stand the test of time. It's why Pella confidently offers the best wood warranty in the industry.
Since you got at me, I was not going to remind you.
Bundle and save when you customize your order by August 31st. Get started today. PellaWI.com/radio. PellaWI.com/radio.
Can somebody fix this damn copy for my guy? He can't read.
It's why Pella
Actually, he can read.
confidently offers the best wood warranty in the industry.
Confidentially, not confident. It's confusing.
It's even more confusing when it's written incorrectly and I'm reading it correctly, but the word is incorrect,
Yeah, I got you.
Pella, though, when I talk about customizing, it's true. The door they put into my house looks like it was there from the very beginning. Check out PellaWI.com, PellaWI.com/radio. Stop by the Experience Centers in Brookfield or on the Beltline in Madison.
The doors are so good that I even figured out how to lock them. Remember last weekend?
You did?
And I'm a dummy.
We still have some delays around the area, but no more accidents in the stadium interchange. Eastbound 94, still going to be heavy out of the zoo interchange through the stadium. Right now, it's 14 minutes to get from the zoo into downtown. We've also got 894 southbound slowing down from Greenfield all the way down and around the Hale interchange. Starts to open up just as you get past Forest Home. On 894 southbound, 11 minutes to get from the zoo to the Hale. That is an extra 6 minutes. And then on southbound 43, Brown Deer Road to the Marquette, it's going to be a 21-minute ride, an extra 10. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 81 at the lake, 88 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Jump into summer fun when the Brewers battle the Oakland Athletics. Friday, June 9th through Sunday the 11th. Get half-price tickets for any seat with the 5-county Friday offer at the series opener. And rep MKE all summer long with the City Connect Brewers flag giveaway at the game on Saturday the 10th. Grab your seats now at brewers.com/promotions.
Hey, this is Tony Smith. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6. It's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
It's a party, baby.
This is Scalzo and Brust. Presented by Michelob Ultra.
It's a party, baby.
On 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
Scalzo and Brust on a Friday, presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Beautiful day to enjoy some Michelob Ultras here today. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio. What are you looking at?
Dalvin Cook's future remains uncertain.
You can read that story on ESPN.com. Find it on the ESPN app as well. Brian Bulaga, Iowa. Cousins subbed for Mark Tauscher today on Wilde and Tausch across ESPN Wisconsin, and had this to say about the fans who claim they don't care about Aaron Rodgers.
Mark from Unknown earlier.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's part of the healing process maybe for a lot of Packer fans. You know what I mean? I think it's maybe part of the healing process. But from looking at it this time, I think a lot of people are using this as kind of their healing method. Like, I don't care what he does out there. It doesn't matter to me what he does out there. I don't want to hear about him, which I understand you saying that. But in the back of your mind, you know you're still interested to see what he does. I mean, you still are. I mean, you not only followed this guy from, every second of every game, even during the week in the offseason, you wanted to know what he was doing. People still want to know what he's doing in the offseason, oddly enough, and he lets you know about it. But also, I think there's a part of people that, I mean, it's hard to explain, but I'm not going to go there with it, but also, you got a king's ransom for this guy. You did. I mean, he brought a lot of value, not only to you as he was playing here, but now, after he's gone, he brought a ton of value to the team as well with draft picks and things like that. So you should still be interested in how he does, because obviously there's a play time incentive, isn't there, for a first-round pick next year, I believe, if I'm not wrong, if that's part of the stipulation of the compensation. So you should be concerned about that as a Packer fan. And at the end of the day, I don't know how you just turn off and not like a guy all of a sudden after you cheer for him for how many years. I don't think you can just turn that off.
I love the innocence and naivete that you hear from Brian Bulaga with that last point. Like, you cheered for the guy for years. How do you just turn that off? Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's such an athlete perspective.
Carrying the G means something more when you're with the G than not with the G.
It's not about the G or not the G. It's just sports fans. Like,
don't undermine the G fans. I'm just saying Packer fans are very, very loyal.
I guess. All right, before I make my statement, Ben, do you think that Packers fans are different than other sports fans? Joshy?
Actually, I'm going to say yes. I think, look, if I'm being honest, Packer fans are different. Like, they're different. When I came to this state as an 18-year-old, I didn't realize how much this state cared about the green and gold. Like, it was Packers, Bears. Like,
how much did that have to do with you versus, like...
That's an interesting
How
question.
many things did you realize when you came to college?
Like, how everything shut down. Everyone had to go to the grocery store. Everyone had their regimented Packer game day outfits and, like, stuff they had to make, the routines, traveling up to Lambeau Field. Like, it's just a little bit different when you have a sports franchise in a remote location of the state, not in a major city, and the entire state worships it, and it goes beyond the state. Like, they're kind of a Dallas Cowboys type feel in terms of fandom.
Josh, do you think Packers fans are different than any other sports fans?
No, emphatically no, I do not.
Yes, I tend to agree with you, Josh. I think, yes, they're probably more passionate than some other markets fans, but, like, ultimately they're going to give up on guys. They're going to overrate guys. Like, and I'm not saying that in a pejorative manner. That's what sports fans are. Like, we get excited. We're passionate. We get carried away. We root for the things that we want to see happen. We love you when you're on our team. We hate you when you're not on your team. Like, that's what makes sports fun. It's not like, oh, you know what? Like, hey, Jamal Williams, like, yeah, he's a great dude and you kind of root for him, but like at the same time, you don't root for him like when he was on the Packers. And there's some players that when they leave, like, you're not going to like them still. It's not that hard to turn it off, especially when they leave the same way that Aaron Rodgers ultimately did.
I think if you've spent 18 years within an organization, I think it's a little bit naive's the wrong word because that's what you use for Bulaga. I think it's just a bunch of crap that you're just going to be like, I don't care anymore. I mean, the incentive. I
don't think the care has gone away. I don't think the care has gone away. I think the care has turned from we are going to be rooting for this guy to we are going to be rooting against this guy. I think Packers fans will be hate watching or paying attention to and rooting against Aaron Rodgers, and that's where the Aaron Rodgers energy will go. I don't think you're going to find too many people. I think they'll say it, but I don't think you're going to find too many people that are just completely neutral on Aaron Rodgers now, and they're like, oh yeah, how's he doing?
So the thing for me is when Brian Bulaga paused and said, I'm not going to go there, I think what he ultimately wanted to say is people don't like Aaron because of his off-the-field stances. Whether it be about immunization, whether it be about ayahuasca, whether it be about him going on the Pat McAfee show and talking about whatever he wants with softball questions laid up right for him to take wherever he wants to take, I think people just didn't like the way that he was off the field. And that's driven a lot of Packer fans away because there's one thing that is different. When Brett Favre left the Packers, people immediately were like, I'm a Jets fan or I'm a Vikings fan. Like, they left. I do not get the vibe. I think there's people that will root for Aaron Rodgers, but there's not the loyalty that Brett Favre had leaving Green Bay versus Rodgers leaving Green Bay now. It's just completely different. It's because of the way that Aaron has used his voice off the field. And I actually like that Aaron Rodgers has shown personality. I like that he's shown who he is. But when you show who you are in the culture that we live in today, it's going to turn people off. It just is. The more you open up, the more you open yourself up to the vitriol of the world that we're in of like, if you're on one side, you're on one side. If you're on the other, you're on the other.
Teddy from Watertown chimes in, says Packers fans are different from other sports fans, especially when it comes to the Green Bay quarterback. That position is similar to playing shortstop for the Yankees. It means something more.
Can anyone name the Yankees' current shortstop?
Teddy from Watertown?
Maybe it's the person who fills the spot. I think that a lot of people are getting confused with wanting to not care and actually not care.
I agree.
Because I understand why you would. It's like with your ex. You want to not know what's going on, but when you got the moment, you take a peek, you take a look, you look around, and you see what's she up to, what's going on here. And then the other fact is, like, we know, we can see numbers on Aaron Rodgers articles and Aaron Rodgers podcasts and all that. That's what people like more than they care about Luke Musgrave. They care about what Aaron Rodgers is doing, even if they say they don't.
Nick from Milwaukee asks, we were talking about Daniel Freitag, the newest recruit from the University of Wisconsin.
D-Fry!
Men's basketball team. We said he was the 5th highest recruit in the history of UW. We've got Nick in Milwaukee, asking, who are the 4 that were higher? Ben, can you guess the 4 Badger basketball players that were higher ranked recruits than Daniel Freitag?
I could probably get 3 of them.
Okay.
Butch.
Yep.
Bohannon.
Nope.
Krabenhoft.
Yep.
Those are the 2.
You're missing one that you played with.
Oh, Decker.
Decker. So you just need one more.
Give me a era hint.
He finished right before you arrived.
Trayvon Hughes?
Nope. Pop was a little bit lower on the list.
Orlando, Marcus Landry.
He had a successful, I would say, NBA career.
Oh, John Lure.
Nope.
Successful? Devin Harris?
You got the position right with Lure.
from Randolph, Wisconsin.
Steamsma
slides in right ahead of Daniel Freitag, then Jason Bohannon, Nate Reavers, Ben Carlson, Bruzewitz, Jordan Taylor, Trayvon Hughes, J.P. Kavinsky,
Wisconsin Del's finest.
Jared Bergeron, Diamond Taylor.
Diamond Taylor stole some iPods, got kicked off the team. Josh Gosser got a scholarship.
Brevin Pritzel, Gus the Bus, Chucky Hepburn, Bronson Koenig. I'm just trying to wait until I can get to you. But
do you get to me eventually? You have the 3 stars yet?
Yeah, here we go. We got now I've got Brusty ahead of John Blackwell, class of 2023. Josh Gosser ahead of Duye Dukin, ahead of Connor Essegian, ahead of Trayvon Jackson, ahead of Frank Kaminsky.
Let's go! I mean, I put up a lot of points in high school.
Suck it, Frank.
We'll go pole dancing next, but first, Benny's going to tell us about Water Joe.
Oh, baby, if I had Water Joe when I was playing, I could have played all 40 minutes. I averaged about 36 minutes a game. Could have been about 40. Could have been all 40 if I had Water Joe. Would have squirted that stuff right into the cup. Boop, timeout. I'm ready to go, Coach. Put me back in. Well, unfortunately, if I turned it over, I came out, so that's why I had to come out. Only turned it over a little times. Anyways, I love Water Joe. It's got to be this clean, healthy energy. I think you can feel it right now. That right through wherever you're listening right now, in your car, on the video stream, on Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you are, you can feel this clean, healthy energy. 85 milligrams of caffeine. Get it at your local retailer. I love me some Water Joe.
Pole dancing next. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're just setting me up to have to tear Josh down, and I don't like doing that.
Why not? You like tearing me down?
I don't tear anybody down. I'm a guy who likes to build people up.
I wish I felt that way every day when I went home.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
We've got to back up along eastbound 94, pretty much stretching from 84th Street all the way through the stadium interchange. Westbound looks great, though, leaving the Marquette all the way to the zoo. Not too much of a problem until you get onto the ramp to 894 southbound. We are seeing some delays all the way down from the zoo, all the way down and around the Hale interchange to about Forest Home. So that's going to be a bit of a heavy ride there. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 81 at the lake, 88 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Back by popular demand, head to the HD Museum campus Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th for the HD Factory Outlet Summer Sale on discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes, merchandise, and select officially licensed products. Don't miss this chance to shop over 4,000 items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, outerwear, hats, gloves, leather jackets, and so much more. While supplies last, the HD Factory Outlet at the Harley-Davidson Museum is your destination for discontinued HD merchandise.
Even when you think you know what's going on, you can never be too sure.
I liked my analogy. I thought it was wonderful.
It's so confusing.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
He's saying that people don't dislike Giannis, they just don't understand Giannis. And it's like when you see somebody wearing a different outfit and your first instinct is to be like, what a weird outfit.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Why couldn't you have said it that succinctly? Because I'm not real smart.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Welcome to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. May I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like 9 windows, please. I'm hoping they'll match my home.
Have it your way.
Excuse me? We're talking about windows, right?
Yes. Pella's design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee.
So you're like my personal barista for windows and doors.
Exactly. And if you customize your order by August 31st, you can bundle and save big.
Good deal.
Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
Football Guy.
I don't care how irritated you are that Jesse did that. The fact that it led to your imitation of me is more than sufficient payoff.
Football Guy.
It's you.
Coming at it from different views.
Girls, I didn't know that I did that, but I guess I do. Go to the grocery store. We'll stop at Fleet Farm.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
I thought I had you on hold. I thought I had you on hold.
Friday across ESPN with Wisconsin, Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, Alex G. You, the Scalzo and Brust family, on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust, calling, texting 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Are you laughing at Ben just deciding to drink water as soon as the segment starts?
He's done it the past 2 times.
Like he's got the whole break and he just sits there and stares at his phone, and then as soon as the segment starts, he starts drinking water.
You didn't ask me a question. If you asked me a question, I would have been ready.
He's not a water bottle guy. It doesn't fit him.
Ooh.
Girlfriend got me this water bottle.
Oh, we know.
What does that mean?
I mean, you wouldn't have bought a water bottle for yourself.
I'm trying to be better about water because I am able to put Water Joe in this water bottle, and I've been able to stay more hydrated considering that I've been lifting a lot more. I need to feel the
Josh,
body.
let's go pole dancing. God.
And we've got answers. Time to give the people what they want.
Lifting. I need to drink
go
water.
Pole dancing on Scalzo and Brust.
Body's made up of 70% of water.
You get this wrong every time. Every week we go up and down the dial. 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, home of the Golden Beavers. Shout out Dodge County. To all of our fellow shows, all of our fellow hosts, to the questions they themselves couldn't answer. We say, you know what? We're going to help you. Joshie, what polls do we have this week?
Let's start off with a little Homer and Tony. A year or so ago, Hubble Arkish said about Aaron Rodgers, the biggest jerk in the league, and I think he's a bad guy. Do you agree with that sentiment today regarding Rodgers? Yes, 48%. No, 52%.
Go ahead, Greg.
This is, who posted this?
Homer and Tony.
No, I don't think that's the case. Let's be real. When you look up and down at the players in the league, in the NFL, in terms of, Tyreek Hill
is the first one that always comes to mind for me.
There's many more. Deshaun Watson. There's many more that you could take a look at up and down the league. We don't need to take out guys individually and say they have gotten in major trouble for this, for that, where they've caused significant and serious harm to others.
Yes,
just because Aaron Rodgers is kind of a Richard to the media and kind of a Richard to people he doesn't like is far different than somebody who has been accused of sexual harassment and assault for dozens of women. Hub?
Yeah, it's a tough take. The answers are really close here. It's 50-50 essentially, which is very telling that people just don't like his off-the-field stance.
Even as Aaron Rodgers' foremost hater here, bad guy is a little much for me. Do I think he's a liar and condescending and a narcissist? Yes, but that doesn't make him a bad guy. Leaves a lot of room for a lot of things that he does not qualify for. Stick with Homer and Tony. Which is a better option to occupy your leisure time? Playing video games, 85%, or watching pro wrestling, 15%.
Oh, I mean, playing video games. I got a ton of dubs with my new COD squad. Ron McKee not in that.
Why?
It's kind of a liability, for being honest.
He's not very good?
Bot.
What do you mean bot?
A bot is just like...
It's like somebody who's like the...
computer generated,
yeah,
like you're just a bot.
AI.
But it's him, right?
Yes,
but he
so plays
bad.
like a bot.
Yeah.
So his war is 0.
Below. It doesn't help us win games.
Liability.
Yeah.
God, I'm saying watching wrestling just from hearing you talk.
Sticking with Homer and Tony. If Giannis wanted Homer as the new Bucks head coach, would you be on board with it?
Yes.
Yes, 33. No, 67.
Absolutely not. After talking with him earlier about Jalen Brunson.
Doesn't matter. If Giannis wants it, you give it to him. I would rather have no coach. If Giannis said, I will stay in Milwaukee for another contract, but I'm the head coach, great. Let's do it. If it's Homer as the head coach, great. Let's do it. Surround him with enough good assistants, get him enough guidance.
Such a good poll question. Homer can't lead a team.
Oh, I'd love to see Homer as the coach.
So this would be an indictment on Giannis.
But it would be just a self-coached team. You couldn't see Homer going to the locker room. All right, you guys know what you're doing. Let's go ahead and get him. Boom. He'd have the shortest pregame, halftime, and postgame speeches ever. He'd be dynamite with the media.
Oh, he'd be a absolute gem behind the microphone.
I'm for this plan if it's what Giannis wants. But Giannis wants Adrian Griffin, who seems to be a lot more qualified than Homer to coach a basketball team.
Let's go to Jen Gabrichui, which you can hear 7 to 9 a.m. on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Is a horse-drawn carriage a romantic thing? Yes, 39%. No, 61%.
I would put it up there as just as bad as the Lincoln Memorial. I said it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not into this. I don't like horses. I don't like the way they smell.
Yeah, they smell the poop thing too.
Like a horse-drawn carriage. It's the click-clack, the click-clack. Like it's like I'm not.
The Central Park ones have been are in quite danger because of the heat.
Yeah, it's not only that, but it's also like it's kind of mean to the animal. Like it's
1 horsepower.
Not a romantic thing.
I thought you get my Seinfeld drop.
You don't deserve it for that. When you're hunting for it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Let's move on to...
Hey, how come I haven't given anything?
And we've done a bad job in the follow-through. You've been very douchey, and we haven't put in the jar.
Let's go to Rutledge and Hamilton, 2 to 4, 100.5 ESPN Madison. Which would you rather do? Hang with Aaron Rodgers at a Taylor Swift concert, 21%, or party with the Packers youngsters on a boat, 79%?
I couldn't believe this. Could not believe it. 79. You can go up with your friends and party on a boat in Door County or up north in Wisconsin pretty much anytime you want. You're talking about going to a Taylor Swift concert at MetLife Stadium in New York.
The VIP tent.
The VIP tent with Aaron and a bunch of celebrities. Like, that's going to be a much more memorable and cooler experience than going and jumping off of a tiny little pontoon boat where it's way overcrowded. Although Simone Biles was there, so that's kind of cool, I guess, if you're into Olympic athletes. But I just played golf with Matt Hamilton today. Like, that's just as good.
Are you sure?
Both gold medal winners.
Simone Biles won back-to-back golds. Matt won gold and got 4.
Did she win back-to-back golds, Simone?
I don't know if it's back-to-back. I know she's won multiple.
Is it the same Olympics, though?
I'm not an Olympic
Are we
fraud.
talking about, like, the
I'm a fraud
overall?
on many things. You win the overall. Back-to-back, I'm pretty sure. Did Simone.
All right, I'm going to move on. You find that answer for us, though. This one's also from Rutledge and Hamilton. Would you be disappointed if Jordan Love turned into the NFL version of Joel Stave?
Simone Biles claimed her second gold medal of the 2016 Rio Olympics, becoming the first woman in 20 years to win back-to-back world and all-around Olympic titles.
Yes, I'd be disappointed, 67%. No, wouldn't be, 33%. At water bottle, huh?
I don't know what the Joel Stave of the NFL means. So it's hard for me to answer
Identify
this.
what Joel Stave is to the Badgers first.
All right, so Joel Stave to me, to the Badgers, was solid. They won some games.
I would say good.
good. He got replaced at one point because he got the yips. He was inconsistent, but overall, he was solid.
How many times do people get
it's a
through
zero.
the yips, he got
through
through the yips.
I would be disappointed. I think I would rather have him be Danny O'Brien or Russell Wilson and very little in the middle. What?
Oh, Danny O'Brien?
Yes, like
That's
the
what I
transfer
said, Danny
that came
O'Brien.
from
NC State.
I thought you said Danny Bryan, like the wrestler, and I was very thrown off. I thought you got caught.
I don't know who Danny Bryan is as a wrestler. No, Danny O'Brien is
Yes, gotcha.
the transfer from NC State who people were high on, and he was so bad.
Took my brains.
Alan Everidge would be another example.
Ben asked for some WTMJ one, so I'm going to throw one out here from Steve Scafidi.
9 to noon, baby. 620 WTMJ.
As you get to...
Ross got one appearance on the TMJ, and he's going right back to that teat, huh?
Uh-huh. As you get to celebrate the beginning of the meteorological summer tomorrow, that was yesterday, what are you most excited about this summer? Vacation, festivals, boating, fishing, outdoors, or other?
Oh, this isn't easy. This is other. I have 2 member guests. You know how annoying I can be about member guests? I'm playing back at Hawthorne Woods Country Club. Remember when I won the closest to the pin contest for $1,000, Greg?
I'm done
and then
with this
Jonathan
question.
Brust and I are playing in the member guests
Ben, why
together.
don't you tell
We're
us
going
about
to Denton Company
Palermo's?
together.
Why don't you tell us about Palermo's?
What are you excited about?
I'm done. I'm not answering
end
the
of this
question.
segment.
Yes, 100%.
So are you no longer bringing WTMJ polls to the table?
No, that was nothing to do with the polls. You just decided to. You know what? $20 in the douche jar.
I thought it was $1 each douche.
You went full king douche with your member guest answer.
There needs to be douche levels of dollars.
Member guest is the pinnacle.
That's about as douchey as it
I
gets.
can't. If I say member guest,
Yes.
You being like, I have 2 member guests. That's what I'm excited about at Hawthorne Woods Country Club, which sounds like the most douchey club name. And I'm not saying it's a douchey club. I'm saying the name itself makes it sound like
it's the H-dub.
It makes it sound like what Mr. Burns would belong to in The Simpsons.
It sounds like it got integrated in the 90s.
H-dub CC, baby. You guys are joking about something I have no idea what you're talking about.
How did you not understand any of those?
Simpsons?
All right, yes, you owe $20 to the douche jar. Do you have $20?
I don't carry cash.
Venmo me $20 and I'll put $20.
I'm not. No, we got to set the douche parameters.
The douche parameters have been set.
No. Give me a finalized version.
I'm the commissioner of the douche jar. Josh is second in command.
This is not.
If we both agree on it, there can be no charge larger than $20.
Can you just let me know what the douche jar money is going to go to? Is it a night out in the town for you two?
Undecided.
Yeah.
Don't like this.
Determine.
Well, if you put it towards Palermo's Pizzas, that would be a very, very good. I'm not Venmo you $20.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to get Palermo's Pizza after the show. Screaming Sicilian, 2.5 feet of stuffed crust cheese is delicious. You got all the great OG Screamins as well. The Boss Hog, which is the sausage. The Holy Pepperoni, which speaks for itself. The Bessie's Revenge, which is cheese. The Mother of Meat. Ooh, I love me some meat. The Mambo Italiano. Mambo. Great Friday Mambo Opera from Joshi. Thin and Crispies are amazing. They have urban pies. I know what you want to say right now. Find your screaming pleasure in your local grocer's freezer. Have a Palermo's this weekend. Is that another $5 to the douche jar?
Yes, $5 to the douche jar. $25 you have to Venmo me, and
Can we start with cents right now because this thing's going to get out of control.
We'll come up with some ideas in terms of what we're going to do with the jar money. But I think it's going to be something that makes you less douchey. Like, it's going to be you, maybe it's you going and getting some Palermo's pizzas and handing them out to people. People that need them. Maybe it's you going.
Did you hear that I'm going to get lined up with Tori Lowe at the barbershop next Tuesday?
I did hear that. Tori told me next Tuesday during the day. Yes. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Twitter at Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
I'm a little manic.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
I'm into the moon and the stars and stuff like that. Like if it's a full moon and stuff like that, you gotta make sure you have the moon water. You set the water out.
Moon water.
Yeah, that's what Aaron Rodgers needs, some moon water.
Scalzo and Brust.
For real? Like, is this like a real thing? Or
I'm going to get you some moon
What's
water.
a real thing, man? It's what? Do you believe it's real? Then it's real.
I don't know. Is there science to prove that like the water's better?
Hey, the moon does
Is
affect
there
the
science
water.
to prove anything?
How do you think you get wet?
Scalzo and Brust. Available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Traffic is brought to you by the Harley-Davidson Museum. Head to the HD Museum campus Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th for the HD Factory Outlet Summer Sale on discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes, merchandise, and select officially licensed products.
Delays continue along 894 southbound from Greenfield all the way down and around the Hale interchange past Forest Homes. So give yourself that extra time. We've also got eastbound 94 riding the brakes from before 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. And a few pockets of heavy traffic along 43 southbound starting around Bender Road all the way down past Silver Spring and then again from Keefe down to about Locust. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 81 at the lakefront, 88 inland. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
What if Draymond opts out?
To go where?
Lakers.
For how much?
I got 3 years 60 for him, Jay.
Yeah, there you go.
Key, you're doing 3 years 60 for Dre?
Well, it's not that that's what I'm doing. He can pick up 27, right?
Y'all need shooters.
We need players, Jay. We need players.
Key, are you telling me right now
player.
you are openly campaigning for Draymond Green to become a Laker?
Yeah, good addition.
For 3 years for $60 million.
So what I'm doing, Jay, is I'm following the tea leaves.
I know what you're doing. Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Something tells me it smells like Dre to L.A. on an opt-out and gets a 3-year extension. One of the things we need, Jay, I think on our team, just watching us against your Nuggets, is that we need some hot sauce, and he brings the hot sauce.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
At Lowe's, we're always bringing pros more ways to save. Right now, buy a select Metabo HPT cordless nailer and get a 36-volt 2.5 amp-hour battery free, a $139.99 value. And as a Lowe's MVP, buy select Owens Corning shingles and earn 2 times the bonus points per dollar. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 5/11 through 7/12. While supplies last, selection varies by location. U.S. only. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 6/1. Subject to change.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Greg Scalzo for Smart Spaces. How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Really looking at the entire space holistically. The environment, the walls, ceilings, lighting, flooring, furniture, technology, along with acoustics.
To conceptualize how the end users are going to interact with the room, from the furniture all the way down to the AV, having that work seamlessly within the environment and often hiding within the furniture.
Let Smart Spaces transform your business today. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
One more time. One more time.
time to stop the dancing. One more time. Right on. I mean, come on. Oh, yeah. All right. To stop the dancing.
1 week away from Ben Brust. One more time. At a concert with Josh DiMaggio first. You guys have never been to a concert together?
No.
Concert bros.
I've been to concerts with both of you guys.
How are we going to mesh?
A little worried about it.
What?
What?
Josh hung out with me on my 30th
You're
birthday.
two entirely different concert goers. I'll say that much.
Can you break down our concert going habits?
No. I can't.
My bad.
Josh is somebody who's having a lot of fun, actively like in the music, talking to the people around him.
So I'm not having fun?
Well, we haven't been to that many concerts together. We went to a Government Mule concert together in which Ben Brust at the Sylvie was wearing a full suit.
You went home and changed. It's like, oh, I'll just go in this.
And
I don't know what Government Mule was.
And there was a lot of tie-dye shirts and the whole thing. And
there was one guy that looked like he was in church, but he definitely wasn't praising the same God.
I don't even know what that means. You are going to want to like chat and chit-chat and like talk to the group during the concert. And Joshy's not that kind of concert goer.
I'm a chit-chatter?
I feel like you're a chit-chatter.
Oh, I'm such a chit-chatter.
You're more about the people in the group than like the experience of like watching, feeling music. Josh and I are big dancers at the concert. You know, we're going to boogie.
Losers.
Ben Brust is just going to stand there and like,
oh, come on. Get a couple ultras in me.
You got to get lost in the music.
I'm worried
get me lost.
I'm worried you're going to be scared of Joshy at the concert.
I don't know what to say to that, quite frankly.
I can't rule it out.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. David Bakhtiari been in the news quite a bit this week coming out of OTAs because he's talked about how the team is in a rebuilding period, even though many of his teammates disagree with that sentiment. He's talked about how it would be disrespectful to say they're not in a rebuild after moving on from a Hall of Fame quarterback and his best friend. He also talked about how he was only at OTAs so he can get paid. And if he wasn't going to get paid, he's going to miss the maximum amount that he can miss before he starts getting any money taken away from him off of his contract. And that led Craig Karmazin, host of Sunday Karma. You can listen to that every Sunday, 10 to noon, across ESPN Wisconsin, to say this about David Bakhtiari on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Mornings, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Craig, we've been talking about David Bakhtiari. I think, though, he could be a little more consistent with his messaging, and I think he's breaking a social code a little bit by not recognizing.
Social code. He's got to be gone. He's got to be gone. He can't be on this team.
Why?
Get him off this team immediately.
Craig wants him off the team, basically saying that you need to build a culture and a winning culture with your veterans who are saying, not only do I want to be here, but I want to be here and I want to help that next group and I want to start really building the culture that I believe the team should have, and that takes me to be a part of that as a veteran leader. As David Bakhtiari's approach this season, it does not seem to be that way.
I think the idea makes sense, but the execution is going to be a lot harder from a standpoint of, I think you mentioned it earlier in the show, what's the trade value? Like, how do you move him? And if I'm not mistaken, Joshy, didn't they do something to his contract before
they did
off-season?
reorganize his contract, but it is a movable contract, and they would actually save about $2 million on the cap. Not a lot, but
age 31 with injury history is a tough contract to move regardless. I mean, unless you know that he's ready to go right away, right? Like you're trying to like win now type mode and you're willing to give up something more for a left tackle or some insurance. Like, I don't see how it works. The idea makes sense, but I don't see him going anywhere.
I don't see him going anywhere either. And I don't think that the Packers want him to go anywhere, but I do think that it would be such a message, a tone setter, and I think that there could be some really good things to come out of it. I don't know if the roster, if the depth there is prepared for it. And you could also make the argument that if you do that, now you're putting your quarterback in a tough position to get off to a good start to his career, which could ultimately impale whatever progress you can make as a team, despite how much better that culture might ultimately be. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Brand in Milwaukee. Brand. Is that your name, Brand?
It's Brand. Brand with a T. B-R-A-N-T.
Come on, Josh.
Yeah, I'm not going to beat Joshy up for that too much. Brand in Milwaukee, what do you got?
I'm calling in about the David Bakhtiari thing, all right? I think I agree with the guy that you were talking about before, saying that he needs to be gone. I don't like the attitude at all. It's terrible for the culture. And I'm sick of the pessimism around the Packers going into this year. Like, it's a new era for the team. New quarterback. I just don't see why people feel like the team is going to be bad. Like, the Packers are like the NFC Steelers. Like, I feel like 10 wins is the floor, and Jordan Love.
What?
Hold on. How many wins, if you were to just guess a number, how many wins do you think the Packers are getting in 2023?
I think 10 wins is the floor. I think there are 10-win wild cards. That wins the division, you know?
Do you know what floor and ceiling means?
Thank you for the call, Brand.
Thank you for the call.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776.
Was I too direct?
I don't know. I didn't know if it was a phone issue. I don't know if the connection, but I wasn't going to try to be like, are you there? And
He's
do the whole
stopping
thing.
it. It's probably his first radio call. Got the yips.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think 10.
We're not calling it a stave. I'm ruling that right now.
But
Who else is
Stave came back from the yips.
That's right.
And so is Brand. Yeah. No, it's a stave. I like that. Why? Because you're buddies with stave? You guys are Eskimo brothers or something?
No. We're just boys. We might be, for all I know. I don't know. Why'd you take it there?
I did it. You're defending.
What is my wee-wee doing right now?
You're defending Stave from a very harmless comment by Josh DiMaggio. We're proud of Stave for coming out of the yips.
Stave threw me a sick ball one time. We were playing volleyball.
I'm a Stave fan.
Don't cool me.
I'm a Stave fan. He's a great musician, too. Awesome hair.
Yeah, he's got your hair.
No, he does have mine.
Yeah.
Does he still?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, still has the flow.
No, he lost the flow.
Damn. Hate to see it. We got free beer and free pizza coming up next on Scalzo and Brust. But first, let me tell you about American Family Insurance. AmFam.com to find your local American Family Insurance agent. Again, AmFam.com. So lucky that as a first-time home buyer, I was working with American Family. Not only in the front end was it so easy to get my insurance set up, to get a plan in place. They've got digital home quoting tools. They got special coverage specifically for you to meet your needs, which is what you want. A policy designed specifically for you, especially if you're a first-time homeowner. Plus, discounts for first-time home buyers, like a renovated home discount and a new home discount. They want to make sure your homeowner's policy works harder for you by rewarding you with savings. Plus, the best part to me about being an AmFam customer as a first-time homeowner, when something went wrong, I had a team. I had an agent.
Nameless, faceless agent.
At my back. No nameless, faceless 800 number. You've had to deal with that before. Maybe not for home insurance, right?
It's the most frustrating thing in the world.
It's the worst. And then you get the reference number. You got to write it down, and you can't remember where it is. And then they put you on hold. They got to call you back. You don't deal with that. You work with an agent, somebody you know, somebody you trust. That's what you get with American Family Insurance. Plus, when you protect both your home and auto with American Family, you can save up to 28%. So find your local American Family Insurance agent at amfam.com.
Why did Jesse Nelson request $20 on Venmo from me?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out next. Pure Beer and Pizza Friday. Presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust. Presented by Michelob Ultra.
Use your freaking brain! No!
Scalzo and Brust. Available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. Today for Ben's Beer Fridge, we're checking in with the 21st Amendment crew and their Hell or High Watermelon. Let's check in with V. Failing, who has the lowdown on why this should be top of mind all summer long.
And what isn't great about Hell or High Watermelon, it is refreshing, a perfect summer beer, and dare I say, crushable. It is what we like to clock in it as summer in a can. We pride ourselves on using fresh fruit in our beers, and you could taste the difference. So with Hell or High Watermelon, you know that you're getting crisp, refreshing, real watermelons. It clocks in at 4.9% ABV, so it's one of those ones that it's a perfect day drinker, if you will.
Thanks again to V from 21st Amendment Brewing for joining me. And remember, whether you're out on a boat or just hanging on the patio, the fridge is always stocked.
They talk about everything, but sports always comes first.
Everything I do in discussing this with Giannis, the most important part is getting the best possible chance that he signs an extension.
Correct.
Because the coach is like about as important as the plumber compared to an extension with Giannis.
And the bottom line is if Giannis is on board, the rest of the team's on board.
Right. And so if the coach fails and Giannis picked him, Giannis can't blame the Bucks for that.
Correct.
It's on you, buddy.
Spend your afternoons with Homer and Tony, weekdays 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
It's officially the love era.
From the day we drafted him to see him now, just to see how he's matured.
Jordan Love has been extended.
The most glowing thing that's been said is he's matured in every facet of life.
Does Love actually always persevere?
It's a lot of money for a guy who hasn't, played.
Find out with us.
At the same time, obviously, we're moving forward with him.
On 94.5 ESPN and streaming live every day on WisconsinOnDemand.com, Twitter, and YouTube.
Here's how we long for Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear.
The world has gone hands-free. However, if you want to put on a pair of sneakers, you still need to bend down and help your feet in. Until now. Introducing Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear. You don't need to reach down to help your heel in. You just step into them and off you go. So what's the secret? Well, there's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide into place. And they stay on just like a pair of laced-up sneakers.
Get hands-free slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the Memorial Day sale, May 26th through June 5th, and get 30% off paints and stains with prices starting at $31.14. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
It's free beer and free pizza Friday on Scalzo and Brust. Stay tuned to win a case of beer from Ben's Beer Fridge and the overtop deliciousness of a screamin' Sicilian pizza. Whew, it's so screamin' good.
Save me, save me, save me.
was not planned, I swear to God.
What do you mean that wasn't planned? You just knew exactly what I was going to say. I knew you guys were up to something. I could see you chit-chatting.
Well, I asked if we put any Twitter polls in today.
Did we?
No, I told him.
Josh, you lazy on a Friday?
Yeah. Is the red panda past her prime?
Very famously, the last time women in their primes got discussed.
Yes, Don Lemon was fired from CNN. But this is different, Josh. This is asking if an athlete is past their prime. You're the one that made it about a woman and not about an athlete and a performer.
She's a female performer. I don't know what to tell you.
So we're not allowed to ask the poll question, is Diana Taurasi past her prime?
If we were talking about the WNBA,
we're talking about Red Panda.
But we're
She's a
talking
performer.
about Red Panda, and Ben is saying he thinks her performance is slipping.
It is.
I disagree with that sentiment. I think Ben just doesn't realize that she does a lot of these, and I think Ben got caught up in the social media sort of buzz that was the Red Panda.
I see halftime performances all the time where like people fall, they die. You know, she's just on a unicycle.
What performances are you seeing
at the Bucks arena? There's this guy who's all like on tons of different things.
The guy
that he
on the
builds.
chairs, you mean?
Yeah. If he goes down, he's done. She's not risking her life. She's just dropping bowls. I think, you know what?
You're dropping bowls.
The Red Panda is overrated. The Red Panda is completely overrated.
Daniel the Sloth says, landscaping sloth says, concerts are stupid unless I've just never been to the right one. Yeah, I think it might be that you've never been to the right one.
Haven't been with Greg, Josh, and Benny, the trio. Next
You haven't been a huge fan of concerts in the past, but I feel like they've grown on you. Matt Hamilton famously, talked to him about this on the golf course today, despises live music, but is a music guy and says I'd rather listen to him at home on vinyl.
That's like me, remember?
Than I would. He's like, I want to hear the song like they did it in the studio. I don't want to hear whatever they're making up while they're on the stage.
That's like
I famously left the Zach Brown Band concert to listen to the rest of the concert in my car on CD.
See, you and Hamilton, very similar.
Also, 99% of vinyl people are frauds because they don't have the high fidelity amps and speakers
calling Hamilton
to actually
a fraud?
hear it, and they play it through like these like cheap ones that come part of the vinyl. You don't tell any difference. It's nothing. All you hear is the crackling of the needle.
Wow. Just took out Man Hamilton.
Benny, why don't you tell the people about free beer and pizza Friday?
800-990-3776. Well, we're doing Hell or High Watermelon from our friends at 21st Amendment, baby. It's a great crushable beer. Plus some Screamin' Sicilian pizza. First caller in Madison, first caller in Milwaukee. You know where to call. 800-990-3776. 800-990-3776.
We have Joe and Amber coming up next across all of ESPN Wisconsin. Have a weekend, Wisconsin!
Most of the delays are easing themselves out now. We've got eastbound 94 still a bit heavy from the zoo through the stadium interchange. Right now from the zoo into downtown, it'll be a 16-minute ride. We've also got some delays along 894 southbound starting at National Avenue all the way down and around the Hale. And then southbound 43, pockets of heavy traffic between Silver Spring and Capitol Drive. Another heavy spot on 4394 southbound from about Lapham to the KK River. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 81 at the lakefront, 88 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Baseball season is here. Your hometown pizza, Palermo's Pizza, has teamed up with the Milwaukee Milkmen to offer lucky fans a one-of-a-kind baseball experience. Palermo's at the Plate. Win tickets to a Milwaukee Milkmen game, a game-time on-field experience, free Palermo's Pizza, and more. Visit MilwaukeeMilkmen.com/Palermo's to enter for your chance to win. Enter today to join Palermo's at the Plate with your Milwaukee Milkmen at MilwaukeeMilkmen.com/Palermo's.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey,
this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is SportsCenter.
First of 2 straight days off between games 1 and 2 of the NBA Finals. And coaching news today with ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting. Frank Vogel is now finalizing a deal